Oh, 65. All right, today is March 30th. It is 65 degrees out, and I'm going to take one of my favorite trips. It's between 4 and 5 hours. It is from here. I live in the Bay City area. It takes, I'm going to ride over to Port Sanilac, and then up the coastline of the Thumb to Port Austin, and then back down through like Caseville and I can't think of that one. Unionville. There's one of the big sugar plant is. I can't think of the name of it right now. It's a nice trip. It's really fun. Than that, there's a lighthouse at Sanilac and Port Austin, which are kind of cool, and I usually stop at both just because it's almost an hour and a half. It's an hour and 40 over to Port Sanilac, and I usually fill up it with gas there, and then I'm good for the rest of the trip. But Port Austin, it's a nice break. They got a nice port right there that's nice to stop at, and the old GL's made this trip many times, so we're going to make it again today. I need to fill up, and then we are off. Okay, this just got rolling. It is very, very windy out today. I don't know if it's interfering with the mic or not, so don't know if you're going to get any of this audio. Like I said, just started out, not even a couple miles from my home. This first part of this today's ride is very straight, very boring, so I'm not going to show much of it. It's interesting enough. It is going right through the middle of the Thumb of Michigan, so you get to see all that farmland and things like that. So to me, that's kind of interesting. All the little towns along the way and things like big churches and whatnot. But not really a lot of scenery, not an exciting road at all. Once I get to Port Sanilac and start rolling up from there, the road's a little more interesting for the most part, and there's some parts that are really interesting. So you get to see a lot of Lake Huron, which is one of the Great Lakes. So that part of the trip is a little more exciting. The worst part, I got a new pair of boots. Getting used to the feel of them on here. I don't have as much toe feel, so I don't know, I'm not overly crazy about that. I think once I get on 46, which is the road that goes over there, maybe I'll turn the video on a little bit. We'll see where we're at that point, but right now there's nothing really exciting. This is just the road over to Bay City. Alright, we are coming into Port Sanilac. It has been a brutal ride. You can hear that wind whipping, and it has happened the whole way. But if you look straight ahead, that's Lake Huron. I'm going to go into the light and hang a right because the lighthouse is down that way. There is like a pier down here at the end. Kind of a neat little town. Yep, there's Lake Huron, and it's blowing like crazy. And there's a Dollar General. Every little store has one, or every little town has one. I'm trying to remember where the lighthouse is down here. I didn't think it was too much further. Oh, there it is. I thought it was a lighthouse. Yeah, there it is. Not a very big one. I don't think I'm going to stop. I don't think I'm going to get off. Because, hey, I really got to go to the bathroom. But, yeah, there is the Port Sanilac Lighthouse. You can see how choppy it is out there. It is windy like crazy today. I'm not sure, but I don't think that you can go up in that. Look at those boats in there, holy cow. Some crazy money in there. Road ends, really? I wonder if this lady's gonna make me stop for me again. No. That is Port Sanilac in a nutshell. I don't think there's much more to it. Now, this section of road coming up is right on Lake Huron, and there are some really cool spots along it, so I'm going to try to do some recording as I pass those spots. There's a really neat you know what, I'm gonna wait until I get to, I gotta pee, so. Oh, I wonder if that's a common thing. Gas overflowing. Well, I'm gonna, like I said, there's some pretty cool stuff up the road. That was 88 miles, like an hour and a half, so when we get up the road, I'll do some more recording. This is kind of neat because it is right off of the lake. Got some interesting houses over here that are right on the lake. I'm sure those are not cheap houses, but you can see Lake Huron out there. It's pretty cool. Windy today, as I've mentioned. No Goldwing. There's like little resort, like cabin type things, and there's a bigger campground up here that we've stayed at with some friends. A trailer park on Lake Huron. That's interesting. Huron Shores. There's Lake Huron. Pretty good shot of it. I don't really want to go stick my toes in today, so I'm just going to keep rolling. There's another rest stop area up here that I'm kind of aiming for, that I kind of want to stop at just to roll through. Get a good look at these houses that are alongside the that are right on the lake here, and compare those with the ones that we hit on the other side of Port Austin, between Port Austin and Caseville. There is I would say there's a considerable economic difference between what you're seeing here and what you're going to see up there. I know a lady who's, her and her husband have a cabin, or they call it a cottage, I guess, up in that area. And he's a doctor, and their actual house is like unbelievable. So I could only imagine what their cottage in Caseville looks like. So, yeah. to each his own. I don't think I'd really want to. It'd be fun to vacation out here, but I don't think I'd want a place to come to out here all the time. It just doesn't really appeal to me. I'm pretty sure that's the campground we stayed at. Ain't nobody camping today. I'm not the only biker out today. This is the second one I've seen in a couple miles. Get the old BMW adventure bike riding the same roads as my GL650. Hopefully he gets it off-road at some point. That's what those things are made for. I can't say I've ever seen one riding off-road, but then I don't ride off-road, so. Flip-flops. That's kind of, I come up here. I don't remember if I came out here last year. I think I might have come up through here once. But everybody had these chickens, these giant chickens. I think I seen them at like Farm and Fleet or Tractor Supply, and apparently everybody out here bought one because they all had one at that point. I don't remember how far that is up here. All right, that roadside park is just up here. I'm just gonna do a drive-through on it. I'll slow down and maybe stop and take in the view. This is the earliest I've taken this ride. It's usually in the summertime when I take this ride. You know, and the grass is green and the trees got leaves on them. So it's a little bit different scenery at this point in the year. But they got a little nice little roadside park here. You can pull off. You can actually go down to the shoreline, which isn't much at this point. That is Lake Huron. Yeah, stairs to the lake. That's kind of cool. That campground that we stayed at a couple miles back had you could get right, like their beach was Lake Huron Beach, so that's kind of cool. I've lived in Michigan my whole life, and I actually lived in Oscoda for 5 years. So swimming in Lake Michigan is nothing new to me. I'm trying to find the gear I'm in. These boots are not, at this point I like them, but got to get used to them. Swimming in Lake Huron is nothing new to me, and it's never been warm, so I'm not a huge fan of swimming in Lake Huron from my experience. Now, maybe it's warmer somewhere else other than where I was swimming at, but somewhere along here there's a really cool cemetery. And I was riding one day, and you know, you get riding and thinking, and I was like, yeah, I could be buried in that cemetery. That'd be cool. It really wasn't that big of a cemetery. It was on the side of Lake Huron, so my thought was that it probably was full, because it did not look very big. I really wish I knew where that cemetery was. So you got Lake Huron in the background. They had to build a lake in the front yard. I don't understand that one. I kind of understand the pool when you live on a lake, kind of. But at that point, why do you need to live on a lake? I don't know. I guess you swim in the pool and you boat in the lake and fish. So. I think I'm going to ride out to the lighthouse. There's another lighthouse spot up there that I just found on, it must have been last summer, because I think I just found it last summer. So, what town is it? Oh, I could go to Bay City that way. I don't even know what town this is. I didn't see a sign. Oh, that place is for sale. I wonder what they were trying to make it. We're at another roadside park. It's a little nicer park, but can't really see the lake from it. She's pretty choppy today. See, there's an old barn. There's a couple chickens. See, that's all farm out there, and the way this land is, it's been kind of high on this left side, and then it kind of tapers down to the water. The road kind of cuts in between those two landforms. I mean, it's a gradual slope out to the water. Well, you see how close we are to the water now. As before, down at the port, we were probably above water level a little ways. Into that open area where the wind's going to start picking up again. Wonderful. It's been pretty nice coming up through there. I didn't see the cemetery. Maybe I missed it. Maybe I imagined it. I don't know. And we got stinky cows. Boy, I wish you could smell that. Prop farmers. There's the cemetery. Overlooking the lake. That'd be a great place to be buried. Spend eternity there. So let's just slow down to 40 in through here. I don't remember there being much of anything here, but we'll slow down. I'll shut the camera off when I get to the other side. Oh, this is Harbor Beach. I don't remember if they have a lighthouse here or not. There was one up on the left side, a little ways back, that I just saw that was like White Star or White Point or something like that. Well, yeah, this town's a little bit bigger than than what I thought. Oh, they got a light and everything. Lincoln Park. Oh, there's a lighthouse way out there on the point. These old downtowns. There's something kind of cool about them. It's unfortunate that they ain't much going on there anymore. Got old ninjas sitting there. Yeah, Harbor Beach is one of the bigger towns coming up this stretch. Most of them are like blink and miss it towns. I think when we stayed down at that campground, I think that we came up to this harbor, walked out to the lighthouse. Dirty Hooker Diesel. I think I'll stay away from that place. United States Coast Guard. I guess I didn't realize there was a Coast Guard. I don't know what you would call it. Didn't realize there was Coast Guard up out here. I can see why there would be. I just didn't realize there was. And that was Harbor Beach. Coming up on Port Hope. If I remember right, this is one of those blink and miss it towns. There's a little bit here, but not much. You can kind of see out there the what I'm assuming is some type of grain silos. Sure if they have a lighthouse here or not. It's port, so you'd think, but I don't know. If you look down there, it looks like a pretty poor neighborhood down that way, so. County Park down there probably. A little bit of life in this town. A couple cool old houses. Yeah, if there's a lighthouse, I'm not sure where it's at. Definitely different scenery without leaves and green grass and stuff. That guy likes old tractors, doesn't he? Like I say, this is the earliest that I have been on this ride, so. Way before the leaves come out. And that was Port Hope. Like I said, blink and miss it. We're still, we're 16 miles out of Port Austin, which isn't too bad. I just noticed that there's not a lot of traffic, and a lot of times this section of road doesn't have a lot of traffic, but there's even less today, and it just occurred to me why. because this is the end of March, and today is Wednesday, or today's Tuesday. So even, it's definitely not tourist season. I'm trying to remember if this is the one, is this dirt road? It's definitely not tourist season, so we're not seeing any tourists. Quite often I'll see bikes, a lot of bikes in that route. But just riding today, it was like, there's like virtually no traffic. Why? And then it dawned on me, why? It's Tuesday in March, and I'm on a motorcycle. There's something dead up there. Ooh. Yeah, you definitely got some wind coming off the lake today. I think this is the one I can't pronounce. Port Chain, something like that. Yeah, if you were watching, that's a double yellow, but if you were watching, I was doing 40 and coming up on him pretty hard, so. He's, rubbernecking, that's what they call it, rubbernecking. I just found this, I think it was last summer, this lighthouse down here. Usually I'm in such a hurry, or usually I gotta pee by the time I hit this point. If I don't stop in Port Sanilac, I definitely have to. So I'm pushing to get to Port Austin. This is a little bit bigger lighthouse. It has the lighthouse and the, I don't know what you call it, I guess the lighthouse keeper's house. They didn't live in the lighthouse. It might not be open. I might not be able to go much farther than this, but this is Port Chain or something like that, I think. Oh no, they just got the park closed off. Port Barques, whatever that means. Beats me. I'm pretty sure you can go up in this one. Although, I don't know. A little lighthouse museum there. Never been to that. You know what? No, I'm going to get off at Port Austin and walk. I was going to get off and stretch my legs, but I'm doing all right. I didn't stretch much at Port Sanilac. It's a nice little park. I bet it'd be a nice one to stay at. Am I going to get behind that Lincoln again? Nice old Ford pickup. They're cutting, but there's definitely a lot of them that are broke off out there. There has some bad winds come through, or an ice storm or something. Oh, yep, I'm behind that Lincoln again. He got that far in front of me. I can't pass him right here though, on a corner. But he's gonna make sure he's going really super slow. Was a Taco Bell commercial where maybe it was Pepsi or something, where the old lady's driving and it shows her doing like 20 and the other old lady's like, slow down. That's kind of what that reminded me of. I know they're just sightseeing, whatever, but the interesting thing I see when I see this barn is at some point, and obviously somebody's continuing to use it, but at what point was this a farm, like right out here on the lake? How long ago was that house built? And you know, how much land do they farm? What animals do they have? You think about, you go back to that time where that's where they lived, and they probably just saw the people in town, and you know, there weren't all these weird people driving along the Lakeshore Drive here like this. Probably didn't see anybody ever drive that by.